Hello, I'm Landon Schlungen, and today we're going to build a personal portfolio web page. So we're going to build something that kind of looks like this. It has a about, work, and contact sections. So yeah, let's get started on this. It's going to turn out something like this with the about, projects, and contact pages or sections. And yeah, so let's start by opening up Visual Studio Code. Here I have mine open, and we want to set up the HTML correctly with an exclamation mark and then enter. And then we can open it up with Live Server. So here's our blank document. I'm going to move the other one over. Here's our blank document. Nothing on it right now. I'll split it up. Whatever we write here will get updated up on that side. So right there is hello. And for this project, we'll start making the navbar first. So we'll go nav with the class of navbar. And then inside of there, we'll do a div with a class of name that says Jane Doe. And then we'll have a div with a class of links. And then 3 links of about, projects, and contact. So we'll do A times 3. This one will go to about. This one will go to projects. And this one will go to contact. So there's our links. Next up, we'll have a div with a class of main section. And then in here, we'll put our 3 sections. Each section will have an ID of their corresponding name. So the first one will have an ID of an about. The second one will have an ID of projects. And the third one will have an ID of contact. So we'll start in the about section. We'll start with a header of class header. That will have an H1 that says about. And 2 H2s. First one says Jane Doe, and the second one says web developer. Then underneath the header, we'll do a div with the class of about me. And this will have the paragraph that says, I'm a skilled web developer that enjoys making practical projects. Now we'll move on to our project section. We'll have a header in this one as well with a class of header. This one will have an H1 of projects and an H2 of here is a list of all the projects I made. Next we'll have a div of class projects container. And then inside that we'll have a bunch of different projects. So we'll go div of class project to make one. This will have a div of class project title that says survey form, and also an image of class project image, and the alt will be survey. And we'll go ahead and copy this down 5 more times. So Option Shift and then down arrow to copy it down. Now I'll change up these different project titles into product landing page, tribute page, technical document, Pomodoro clock, and random quote machine. Save that. And now I'll add in the sources for all of these projects, so the image sources. Save that, and there we go. We have our survey form, product landing page, tribute page, technical document, Pomodoro clock, and random quote machine projects. Next we'll work on this contact section. We'll start with an H1 of contact, and that'll have a div of class main contact. And this will have a bunch of divs of contact type that have an H3 and a P tag in it. The H3 will have email. The P tag will have the actual email, so in this case we'll do janedoe@gmail.com. And then we'll copy this down 4 times and change the different contact types. So this one will be phone instead, and we'll give some random phone number. And then we'll have GitHub, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So there we go, we got our GitHub, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And that is all we have for the HTML part of this website. Now we'll turn that into this. We're going to turn that into something that looks a lot nicer like this. So let's get started with that. First, make sure we have our linked up style.css, and now we can start working in the style.css file. We'll start by selecting everything and giving it a margin of 0. So there, the browser has invisible margins, but we just want to set that to 0, so now everything is touching the sides. We'll make the HTML scroll behavior smooth. We'll give the body a background color of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hashtag 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A min height of 100 VH. And a color of hashtag ABCDEF. So that's a light blue. So there's our background color and our text color. We'll grab the navbar, give it a position of fixed, a top of 0, left of 0, a width of 100%, a display of flex, and align items of center, a background color, of hashtag 111111 and then F2 to make it see-through. And then we'll give it a padding of 20 pixels and a Z index of 100 so that it's on top of everything. So there's our navbar so far. Next up, we'll grab the name. We'll give it a flex of 0.6 and a font size of 22 pixels. So there we go. We have our Jane Doe up here, and it also pushed this over because of the flex of 0.6. So it takes up 60% of the space available. And then we'll grab our links, give it a flex of 0.4 and a font size of 22 pixels as well. Yeah, we'll grab each link with the A selector, and we'll do text decoration none. We'll give them a color of white and a padding of 20 pixels. So there's our links here, and they already work. We'll do a hover effect on the links of background color, hashtag 333 for dark gray. We'll put a media query on this so that it looks better when it's smaller. We'll set a max width of 1000 pixels, and it'll just grab the links. Well, it'll grab the name and give it a flex of 0.4, and it'll grab the links and give it a flex of 0.6 so that it actually spreads out correctly. And then we'll grab our main section and we'll do text align center on it. We'll grab each section, we'll give them display of flex, justify content center, align item center, flex direction of column, padding of 100 pixels X and Y, or a padding of 100 pixels Y and 0 pixels on the X. We'll give it a min height of 85 view height, so VH. Save that, and there it's already looking a ton better. Obviously these images are a little too big, but yeah, we'll fix that very shortly here. We'll grab the project image, so those images, and we'll do object fit contain. We'll give them a height of 100% and a width of 100%, and give them a cursor pointer so that you think you can click on it. So now it looks like you can click on it, but it actually doesn't do anything. Now we'll give different background colors to the different sections. So we'll grab the about section and give it a background color of this background color that we already have. So that one's not actually different, but the other two will be. So we'll grab the projects and give it a background color of 111138, so it's a little bit more purple. And then we'll grab the contact section and we'll give it a background color of 221370. So there's that background color. Then we'll grab every H1, give it a bigger font size of 80 pixels and a margin bottom of 70 pixels. We'll grab all the H2s, change the font size of them as well to 40 pixels and a margin bottom of 70 pixels. Save that. Here's our about page now and projects. I'll grab the about me part and we'll give it a margin top of 50 pixels and a font size of 30 pixels. So this is this paragraph here. There, it got a lot bigger. Now I'll grab the projects container and we'll put a display of grid on it. And then we'll do grid template columns. So this will tell it how many columns to make. And we'll do a trick here of repeat auto fit and then min max 500 pixels 1 FR. And right there it doesn't look like it did anything, but it actually did. So if it gets big enough, then it'll go to 2 columns. Otherwise it'll be just 1 column. And then we'll give it a grid gap of 30 pixels. And then we'll do another media query for max width of 1100 pixels. And this will be for the projects container. It'll be the grid template columns thing, this trick again, except instead of 500 pixels, we're going to do 400 pixels. This just allows it to get even smaller than it already is without looking bad. Next, we'll grab each project and we'll give it a background color of hashtag 234567. Give it a border radius as well of 3 pixels, so just a slight curve around the edges. And then a transition of transform 0.35 seconds, ease in out. And you're probably saying, hey, that probably won't do anything because there's no transform property, but it's for the next part that it's actually used for. So when we do project hover, we're gonna have a transform on it of scale of 1.04, and then we'll have another transition of transform 0.35 seconds, ease and out. And now when we hover over these, they get bigger slightly, and they also animate when it goes off of it. If I didn't have this line here, then it would just snap away. Oh, if I save it, then it'll just snap away when I leave, which I do not want. I want it to be smooth all the time, so that's why I need that line in there. So there we go, works pretty good. Now we'll grab the project title. We'll go font size of 30 pixels and a padding of 20 pixels. So there, these titles got a lot bigger and look a lot better. And then we'll grab our main contact part. We'll give it a display of flex, a justify content of center, a flex wrap of wrap, and align items of center, a padding of 50 pixels for the Y and 0 pixels for the X. So that's for the contact part, so that it actually displays in a row like this. And then we'll grab each contact type and give them a margin of 20 pixels and 35 pixels, so that way they space out. And then we'll grab the H3 and we'll give it a font size of 35 pixels. And there we go, looks a lot better. Of course, these could be links to like your email or your GitHub or your LinkedIn or your Twitter, but I kept it simple right here. And also, like, clicking on these projects could actually take you to the actual project, so it would be cool if they were links to somewhere. But yeah, now it is finished. So clicking on these brings you down to the right spots and brings you up to the right spots. And overall, I think it looks pretty good. Also could use a footer maybe, but left that out for now. But yeah, that was build a personal portfolio web page. Next up, we have JavaScript. So I'm going to go through the basic JavaScript with you guys, and it should be pretty epic. JavaScript is my main language. I love JavaScript, so it should be a lot of fun. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you later.